this time, please welcome the Barnesville High School Marching Band. At this time, would you all please stand, gentlemen, and remove your hats as we play the national anthem. Now the Barnesville High School alma mater.
And here come the Rocks. Welcome everybody. Tonight we are very fortunate to bring you this OHSAA playoff game between Barnesville and KIPP. KIPP coming in here out of Columbus. They come in here 7-4. But you take a look at some of their losses, and the teams they played were no slouches. So it'll be real interesting tonight, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. Barnesville coming in with now a 9-1 record, but I mean, a 30-point win, I don't think you're ever going to find any coach complaining about that, especially in the playoffs, but didn't look as clean as I think they wanted to last week. Wasn't as sharp as I'm sure Coach Allen was hoping for, but so we'll see if another week of practice has allowed them, because this is going to be a tough matchup.
You know, here's a key thing. You know, anytime you get into the playoffs, you start to think about injuries. As KIPP's getting ready to take the field here. Here come the Jaguars.
And I mean, we got game results from them, but not a lot. A lot of unknowns for us about this KIPP team. But just eye test, a lot of big kids. Their line, a lot of size there. Looking over at their starting lineup on the offensive front, the kind of runt of the litter there is 5'11", 260. So 260 being the lightest lineman they got. So definitely going to have the size advantage in the trenches. So Barnesville's going to have to rely on some quickness and maybe send some extra blitzers or something.
This one's really interesting for me because I really have no idea how this is going to play out, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I think they like to throw the ball and they have a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
Barnesville's the opposite type of team. They're going to try to run it down your throat. So we're going to really see, you know, if their size is able to play that brand of smash mouth football. I've seen guys come in here before and they can't play, and I've seen guys come in smaller and they play better than we do. So it's really hard to tell. The interesting is going to be who comes out and scores first, I think, and then who also carries momentum in and coming out of half.
That's going to be big. Last week KIPP knocked off the number 5 seed Simms Valley. Simms Valley was undefeated going into that game, and KIPP went there and got the upset. So I don't think we're going to see a pushover game. I'm expecting a pretty tight, exciting game.
This will be, like you said, a pretty tight, exciting game, I do believe. You know, they beat Simms Valley, who was 9-1. But you know what? Here's the thing, Brian. You know, watching Simms Valley, doing some research on them, I don't think they were all that with their record. But I think some of the teams KIPP has lost to this year might be better than Simms Valley. Simms Valley, you know, a smaller school, right? And where they come from and the teams they play is not going to be as athletic as this KIPP team.
Yeah.
And so I think this team's tested. There's going to be no pushover, and I think we're in for a really good one tonight here at Shamrock Stadium. As we're about to get set underway here.
We don't have any coaching staff for them, but I do know for a fact that Jacob Houston, a Barnesville graduate and former player for the Rocks, is a coaching staff member, so we want to give a shout-out and welcome back to him.
And so we're underway, and the kick is going to be bounced around to 27. Spencer Bliss is going to field it, make one man miss, brought down by the host of Jaguars. It's going to be brought down to 35, and so that's where the Rocks will start their first drive here tonight. You know, anytime you get to the playoffs, it's an honor. But, you know, last week with the addition of 16 teams getting into the playoffs, you know, it almost didn't feel natural, at least to me, you know, because I went through playing, you know, top 8 get in. But here's the thing, KIPP was a lower seed. They wouldn't have got in the traditional format, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. As they're going to come into a 40 over front there, and they're going to kick out the end, and hand it off to Owen Y. He's going to plow ahead for about 5 there. And so nice start here and getting ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I expect to see Barnesville look to establish the run, but if I know they like to run it between the tackles, but if that ends up, I mean, the Jaguars have a lot of space eaters there, so if that isn't working, I look to them to try to establish the run on the boundaries and look to just kind of spread out this defense, take away the size advantage a little bit.
Boy, KIPP looks big up front as they're going to be in a 40 with a backer and overhang walk down. As they're going to run ISO once again. It's going to be Owen Wise. Is going to get grabbed and wrapped up. That was number 58. That's Ryan Stewart for the Jaguars. And boy, he's a nice-looking kid. They got several nice-sized kids up front. And, you know, you see them rotating here. Number 45, that is... Well, trying to decipher the roster here. Number 45, Zach Walton coming into the game. So, looks like maybe KIPP will be rotating our defensive lineman. And, you know, something's got to give, Brian. Whether it's... When we try to do this running attack, they're either going to penetrate the line of scrimmage, and or we're going to, play on their side of the ball, as they're going to run a little fullback dive. Goes nowhere as Kipp's all over it. That'll bring up 2nd and about 9 here for the Rocks.
And that time it looked like number 45, Zach Walton, got off his block on the edge and just was, Jones was unable to go anywhere.
But it'll be interesting to see, what the first thing to give here is tonight, whether their defensive line's able to come in and kind of do what Barnesville does best and do it better than them. Or if Barnesville's line's able to come and do what they did all season and they'll be able to establish a run. So it'll be interesting to watch as the game goes on. As the Rocks will be in a gun. Hannes in the backfield. That snap, actually, he's going to hand it off to Spencer Bliss. Tries to get outside. They're going to call a hold on Gavin Carpenter as Bliss makes a couple men miss. But Carpenter couldn't get his head to the play side, even though Spencer Bliss has a heck of an effort to pick up 8 or 9. It's going to get called back there. Boy, here early on, it looks like the size of KIPP is going to hinder Barnesville's ability to do what they want.
Barnesville definitely doesn't want to fall behind schedule on these early downs, so that'll put them 2nd and way back. Might get to see him test this secondary for KIPP.
The thing about the playoffs, when you get here, no game is going to be easy, if you have it the way you want. And you're going to have to face adversity, and you're going to have to overcome drives. You're going to have to be down at some point and come back, and you're going to have to make some big plays down the stretch. And the better team's going to win, and we'll see if Barnesville's able to come out and make those plays, as they're going to come back and run a waggle screen back to Wise, let the man unblocked as Shepard was supposed to get out to the corner. The corner just simply ran around him. And
it went full on attack and was able to make it around the blockers, and that could have went for a big play there for Barnesville.
Barnesville had one offensive lineman out there, like you said. It was Logan Shepard, and he just wasn't able to get the block. The kid just ran right around him. So that was really unfortunate, because if not, that thing goes maybe closer to 1st down. As Barnesville's having some trouble lining up, we're going to take a look at the play clock. 6:05 left. They're going to put Bliss in motion to the top of your screen. Hannah drops back, looks, throws, fire, wobbled over the middle, and it's going to be picked off. That's number 4. That's Cam Frazier. And he's going to take it up around the left side, up to the sideline, and finally driven out at about the 42 as not a great start for Barnesville, and a big interception for KIPP.
Had a receiver that passed just a little wobbly coming out and stayed in the air an awful long time, and just a little over the head of the receiver, and a great play there from the safety. KIPP's in business.
Yeah. The thing, you get into the playoffs and you start playing these better teams. The mistakes you get away with in the regular season, you're not going to get away with in the postseason. You have to come in here and whichever team makes the less mistakes is probably going to win. You got to come in here and try to play as close and mistake-free football as you can. Limit the penalties, limit the turnovers, and we'll see if KIPP is able to capitalize off this here. As they'll drop back, looks, throws all day. Shepard finally with some pressure. He's going to get out around the right side, throws away. Intended for Coach Dylan Rogers on the sideline. Incomplete. That was Tymier Wynn as the quarterback there. And it looks like they're going to call intentional grounding, which I don't know about that, Brian. I thought he was outside the pocket.
I don't think that was intentional grounding, but at the same time, I feel like he missed a couple holds there.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I know the Barnesville crowd was waiting for a hold to be called, but I think once he got in pursuit, I think they missed a hold or two, but I thought he was out of the tackle box, and looked like that pass came pretty close to reaching the line of scrimmage too. So
I don't understand that call, and I also don't understand why he didn't just take off and run.
Yeah, he had all day back there, just couldn't find a receiver open. But talking about the grind in the playoffs week to week, last week having to get prepared for a team like Coal Grove that I don't think they had more than one wide receiver out wide at any point. And so far we've seen KIPP through 2 plays go 4 wide each time.
Yep, they're going to be in the spread 2x2 pistol here. As Wynn's going to hand off to his running back. Boy, he's quick, number 24. That is Antonio Campbell, and he's going to get brought down after a huge gain. He's close to the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and about 3 here for the Jaguars.
It's a quick running back for them. That was good play design, and he just found a hole, and I don't think Barnesville really know what hit him until he was 10 yards down the field.
So it'll be 3rd and about 3 or 4 here as they'll hand it off. Once again, the Rocks are going to win the pile, but I think he might have got the first down. Boy, it's close. They're going to have to measure, Brian. That was Campbell once again on the carry. It's funny because he's 5'7", looks very small out there, but you look at the guys playing around him. Well, that's why. Because I mean, I'm 5'7", so you know, and I was our biggest lineman when we played.
Oh, and that'll be to their advantage because it's tough to see over that line to find someone that's that much smaller.
So it'll be 1st and 10 as Wynn runs a little RPO, and he's going to get around the edge, slide down, but not before he picks up 7 or 8. As it looks like this is the first read off of this, Brian. It looks like they are way more athletic than we are. It'll be interesting to see how Barnesville schematically is going to be able to expose to what they do here, because they're going to have to make an adjustment, it looks like, because KIPP is driving down the field with a little bit of ease here. It'll be 2nd and about 3. New running back in the game. It'll be number 1, Christian Brown. As Wynn's going to look back, throw, fire, almost picked by Tayson Starks right through his hands. Almost a second attempt there by Owen Wise, incomplete. That would have been huge.
That's a play Barnesville needed there. They gotta come up with a play sometime because, as you said, KIPP just driving down the field with relative ease right now. But that would have been a big change in momentum there. But as it stands, we'll have another 3rd down for KIPP.
And those are the kind of plays, Brian, if you want to win these games, you got to make them. Sorry. You know, it's a tough play, but you got to make them as they're going to turn on and hand it off. That's to Brown. He's going to plow forward. He's going to be close to the marker. Rocks win the pile, but it doesn't matter with forward progress. I think he's right at it, Brian. I don't know.
Going to depend on the spot. I think it looks like about a half yard or maybe a short yard.
So we'll see what the Jaguars decide to do here, as they haven't huddled yet, but they're taking their time. You know, they're getting a signal in. They're looking how the Rocks, what personnel they have in, and I think that's how they're calling their plays here. This Wynn will be in the pistol. Will take the snap. Read option again, and he's going to get brought down from behind. What a big play there by number 53. I do believe that's Luke. That wrong? I think it's Ethan Spangenberg. Yeah, Ethan Spangenberg. It's funny. I'm one of the biggest advocates for read option. I want to read the defensive end on anything because that's one less guy you got to block. But sometimes you can out-cute yourself when you need a yard.
And it was wide open. Like it just took a little bit too long. And give credit to Spangenberg for tracking him down from the backside, because if he doesn't make that tackle, it's an easy 1st down for KIPP.
It might have went for a lot longer. There was a lot of room over there, Brian. I bet they come back to that very soon. So it'll be 1st and 10 here after the huge play by Spangenberg. The Rocks will be in the strong eye. Fullback set to the right, and they're going to run a counter trap back. Wide open lane. That's Wise. He's going to pick up about 8 or 9. But, you know, you talk about playoff football, Brian. You got to make those plays. You talk about the interception, you got to make a big play on 4th down when it looks like, you know, they got you, and that's why you play. It's so fun. It really is.
Through one possession for each team, we're at a turnover apiece, so it's basically like the new ball game starting now.
Yeah.
A little less time on the clock, but nothing hurt for either team, so we'll see if the Shamrocks can establish some good drive here.
I'm telling you, there's nothing better than good football, man. There's nothing better. So it'll be 2nd and about 3 here as they'll turn around and hand it off to Wise. Tough sledding in the middle. He's going to be met by number 45. That is, still memorizing the names, that's Zach Walton. But it's not before he picks up a 1st down.
And Barnesville able to find some success running through the tackles right now. Finding holes. Wise is running hard, but this KIPP team is closing fast on him. And when it looks like he's going to get a big gain, I mean, they're pretty athletic to limit it to about as little as it can be.
You know, that's the thing. You're going to pick up 4 or 5. You play a team like this, and they're going to be able to rally to the football. But, you know, 3 and 4 will turn into hopefully 8 or 9 as the game goes on. You bust a big one. His hand is going to take a direct snap to himself, go forward, pick up about 1. That'll bring up 2nd and about 9 here. Looks like the Rocks are going to get some different personnel in as Wise comes out. Jones will go in as the tailback. Probably going to be a pass, you know, going off that. Jones probably in there for blocking responsibilities.
Either be a pitch to Bliss, or I could see it being a screen to. Don't want to set yourself in a 3rd and long, so I doubt we see a fullback run here.
Look at this. They're going to motion down here, and Rocks are going to have to come back to that. As Hannes gets tackled in the backfield, there was nobody on Chase Connor in his seam. Those are the kind of things, you know. Although it's a bad play, you get a good look out of it, and that's something I bet Barnesville and Blake Allen's staff saw, and they're going to have to come back to that. You get a guy that open, and the safety's playing 12 yards off, just throw a now screen to him. Yeah. Or just run him up the seam like a little pop. And so it'll be interesting to see how they adjust. So it'll be 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, a little surprised that we've seen back-to-back quarterback runs. Normally not a big part of Barnesville's offensive game plan, but not doing anything in this possession.
So Hannes is going to roll out to his left. He's going to look for the comeback. That's the Bliss caught in bounds. They're going to give him the first down.
Good job by Bliss to know where the chains were, and I think he got 11 there on 3rd and 10.
Yep. Great route by Bliss. Great throw by Hannes. Those timing routes are so hard to defend. You know, as a DB, you can do everything right, but if a guy runs a stop route or a comeback route like that, man, you got to almost guess. And at that point, you're worried about the double move.
And man coverage, that route's about impossible to guard, and Bliss just ran it extremely well and got his feet in.
Light box in here for KIPP, but it doesn't really matter as their defensive linemen are able to swallow up Hannes there. I see what Barnesville's trying to do. They went 3-by-1, 3 receivers to the top of the screen. You got a 5-man box, and then you got your quarterback as your 6-man. So you got 5v5, and you got no one to account for your quarterback. But guess what? The defensive lineman just handled your offensive line.
Yep. That only works if every O lineman takes on their one D lineman, and just not the case on these last 3 quarterback runs.
They're going to have to figure out something for that. Looked like there might have been a stun on there as well. As, you know, they got their nose tackle. That's number 58 there. And so direct snap to Bliss here as they get in a condensed shotgun. He's going to get her out to the edge. Knocked into the Gatorade table. Part of that, I think, on his own doing. And he's down, not getting up. That's not good for Coach Allen. Hopefully he gets up. You know, you hate to see anyone ever go down, especially in what could be, you know, last game, knowing the circumstances in a playoff. And Bliss still hasn't gotten up yet, but the play must go on because he's out. You know, he's out of play right now, so they don't have to stop the clock. That's terrible to see.
And I tell you, this is a big moment in this game. Spencer Bliss does so many things for this Barnesville team.
Bliss gets back up finally, but I don't think there was any wrong going there, though.
No, it was a big pile up there, and that table's just. It's only about 4 yards away from the sideline, so momentum's just going to take you out. I don't think there was anything malicious there.
So it'll be 3rd and about 4 here as the Rocks will get in the I formation, turn around, hand it to Wise on the ISO. Ball's out! Salvador Alvarez jumps back on it, but that's going to negate any little bit of a gain there. That's going to bring up 4th down here at midfield, and a crucial decision here for Coach Allen.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks. I mean, you're not in definite go for it territory here.
But the way KIPP's moving the ball, you want to go score first here. It looks like they're going to push all the marbles to the center of the table here on the 2nd drive. I don't hate the call. I really don't. I actually think it might be the right call, but it'll be interesting to see if they even snap it here, Brian. They might just go hard count and then call timeout and then maybe punt it. Yep, I think that's what they're going to do. There's no play on here. No budge from the Jaguars.
Extremely disciplined defensive line there. I think their coach was kind of in their ear telling them that probably don't have a play here. So
no. So now decision time for Coach Allen. He gave himself an extra 45 seconds to make a decision. Probably the right thing there, because anytime you get a free 5, you take it.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't. If you're going for it, you have to have a play this time. I don't see him doing hard counting. You have to have something that's going to happen on this down.
Trots the offense back out on the field. I do believe they're going to go for it. Not going to lie, Brian, I'm kind of surprised they even put the offense back out here. Usually when you're in this type of situation, you want to keep your offense in a huddle as long as you can, just as much as they can keep their coaches guessing, you know what I mean? So they're out there waiting on the Jaguars. Rocks are going to go for it. They're going to have 2 receivers to the top of your screen, 2 receivers to the bottom. Bliss will be the back in the backfield. You wonder if it's going to have. Hannes will be in the pistol, and I think a false start's going to get called on C.J. Hannes here. He was a quarterback. They went to a quick kick, and I do believe it was Hannes that jumped first, and so that's going to bring the Rocks back 5 yards. Now they'll turn the actual punting unit on.
It's the benefits you have when Spencer Bliss is your punter, but also lines up in the backfield. A lot of the time you can get away with plays like that, and it would have worked. I mean, KIPP didn't have anyone back, so would have been able to down the punt. But now we'll see what KIPP's return game looks like. Looks like number 4, Cam Frazier, back to return.
Wondering what the refs are holding up the Rocks about here.
Number 21, Spencer Bliss, and punt formation for the Shamrocks.
As the Rocks are going to get set here and look to punt. Bliss will be back to punt. Snap is good. Punts away
that
quickly.
One off in a hurry.
And the bad thing about that is the Rocks went down the field to recover, really. As Frazier gets out and around the edge after a blindside block, and he's going to go all the way, Brian. He got out of a couple tackles.
There's a flag. We'll see what happens, but 2 flags it looks like.
I don't care if you're livid if you're Coach Allen, because he broke 3 tackles right there and was able to get out of that and go down the field. I don't care that there was a penalty. Your kids need to be down there, and you got to make the tackle and respond like that. And I bet they're going to get an earful after that, and they're very fortunate that they get away with this one here. Very fortunate. It almost looked like after that first flag was thrown, it was like the Rocks knew it, and they just kind of quit.
Can't quit on the play. You never know what the flag is going to be or anything like that. So this will move KIPP way back, but, I mean, yeah, Shamrock's extremely fortunate right now.
Extremely fortunate there. But, nevertheless, a good call in favor of the good guys, I guess.
I think
you take them when you get them.
I did see a block in the back. I'm not sure what the call was over on the KIPP sideline. Didn't see that one. But I did see what looked to be a block in the back on the initial return.
2 blocks in the backs is what they're calling a call. One's declined, one's accepted. So KIPP, after going for 6, is going to start at their own 10-yard line. How about that, Brian?
That's one way to change the field, I guess.
Mistakes will win you or lose you a ball game. That's a big one there if you're KIPP.
You need to see this Barnesville team start making some plays. They've been bailed out a few times in this early going.
That's a big one right there. So it'll be 1st and 10 here. As new quarterback actually in. That's Cam Frazier at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to number 1. That's Christian Brown, and he's going to pick up a 1st down off one inside zone play there. Wondering what the move is here. They before it was number 3 Tamir Wynn, and he's not in a quarterback anymore.
Well, 4 was their punt returner, Cameron Frazier. So I don't know if it's more of a wildcat or he is a quarter. It's tough to tell.
It's tough to tell. Bad snap over his head. He's going to get brought down by Agent Spangenberg. Loss of about 15. I don't think he knew the ball was snapped. It just kind of went over his head.
Well, it hit him in the hands, and then he just didn't seem like he was in a hurry to get it, and then he realized it was a live ball, and lucky to pick that ball up.
Well, you look at the reaction of the tailbacks. There was a split gun back there, and both running backs didn't even seem to know the ball was snapped. I think there was a miscommunication there with the snap count, and it bites the Jaguars in the butt. 50 seconds, and the clock is running left to go in the first quarter here. Your ball game 0-0 here in Barnesville. Looks like we're going to get maybe one playoff before the quarter, so we get to 38 seconds.
Another wide snap.
Another high snap, and it's a quarterback keeper. Rocks defense rallies.
And this crowd's starting to get into it a little bit more. They're pretty quiet through this most of this first quarter.
The ball carrier. Defensive tackle on the play by number 54, Gavin Carpenter.
And they can let the quarter end here.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, They're walking off. It looks like this will end the first quarter.
Anytime you got 3rd and 22, you take any more time you can to think about something there. So at the end of one here at Shamrock Stadium.
It's about as much back and forth and excitement as I can remember in a 0-0 game. I mean, there's been some big plays from both sides, and just here, KIPP starting on the 10-yard line. First run goes for 12. Next snap goes for a loss of 12. Third snap, another loss.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
kind of shooting ourselves in the foot there.
KIPP is, I mean, this is just a gut reaction in this first quarter. KIPP is extremely athletic, extremely big, but maybe not as fundamentally sound as some other teams.
Looking ahead here a little bit, we're allowed to, the players aren't. Fort Fry's up 6-0 over Nelsonville York. That is who the winner of this game will play.
Looking ahead for either team. The winner of the night will play the winner of that at a neutral site. So even if the Rocks would win and be the higher seed next week, still going to be a neutral site. So this is the last game at Shamrock Stadium for this season.
Like I said earlier, you know, you want to be the first one to score in this game because it might swing the momentum. And you know, we're through one and we're scoreless still. Goose eggs everywhere.
Yeah. And I mean, Rocks, both teams have found some success on the offensive end, just haven't been able to sustain a full drive.
Yeah. A lot of mistakes here, and I'm getting so fired up about these because when you're in such a crucial game, you know, like this, where one team's season could be ended, a mistake like that could cost you everything.
Exactly.
And that's why they mean a lot here. So that's why I'm getting fired up. So it'll be 3rd and 24 here for the Jaguars as they'll take the snap, and it looks like a quarterback ISO. Going to pick up about 4, and that's going to bring up 4th and long. I want to thank our sponsors really quick. Hissom Service Center, Cuz Woodworks, Mountain Aire Heating and Air Conditioning, Root Design Company, Samantha Welch, Swallie Trucking, Vision One Flooring. I want to thank our sponsors there. It means a lot.
Root Design, if you need some great t-shirts, I know they got some Barnesville ones. I got a couple. They're really nice, cool designs. Cuz Woodworks, that's Brian and Curtis Jeffers, for your unique high-end custom tables and furniture needs. And Hissom Service Center, we want to thank them for being a year-long sponsor. Every game we've been in here.
Looks like they try to get the punt off and delay a game, I do believe, and that's going to back up the Jaguars even further there. But yeah, I really want to thank our sponsors. You know, I have so much fun doing this up here with you. It's always a blast, you know, just to watch Shamrock football in general, and then to get up here and just talk about it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, easiest job in the world up here, for the most part.
Funnest job in the world.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Well, other maybe coaching for me, but...
This punt is straight up in the air.
A high one, direct bounce to Bliss. He's going to make a little high step. Doesn't fool anybody, but does make a nice cut. Jaguars rally to him, though. Net gain of about 3 or 4 on the return.
Still, Barnesville taking over at the 30. I mean, great. Easily best starting field position of this night for them. So, see what they can do here in the short field.
So the Rocks will officially take over right at the 30-yard line on the right hash. 10:54 left to go here in the second quarter. It felt like that first half flew by, Brian. Or the first quarter, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, both teams moving the ball. It keeps the clock running for the most part. Not a lot of stoppages.
Rocks will be in the I formation, 2 tight ends. Hannes will take the snap, turn around, hand it out to Owen Wise. Had a little bit of a lane there, but not before he was tripped up. Trying to see the number when he gets up. Looks like it was number 56, I do believe. Yeah, number 56 for KIPP, and that is Sid Kaba. Nice looking player there.
Yes, roster has him at 6'3", 265, and he looks every bit of it. I mean,
I ain't gonna argue with
a highly athletic play there.
Yeah, he was getting blocked and was able to use his hands and get off the block, which is something how you can usually tell if a defensive lineman's good or not, if they're able to use their hands. As Hannes will do a little misdirection, a little play out of Fort Fry's book. As Hannes will meander his way up the sideline and pick up a nice chunk there.
That's an incredible play call there from Blake Allen. The long side of the field was going with the pitch, so I think everyone on KIPP thought that that's where the pitch was going.
Yeah.
Hannes just, and I think he was surprised how open the right side of the field was.
I'm trying to figure out how I can describe that play. It was a fake toss, and then it came back with a quarterback sweep with a pulling guard out and around.
I don't know if it's designed to be a quarterback sweep or they have a receiver coming across for him to look for, but he was so open there that just running it made sense.
It almost looked like kind of a pin and pull action as Hannes will get back under the center and hand it off to Owen Wise. Got a nice little crease. Going to get brought down after he gains about 6 yards there.
And I'll give KIPP credit. It looks like that Wise keeps having decent holes to run through, and it just closes extremely quick. And
that's what happens when you play a good team.
Nothing easy for the rest of the year.
No, that's for sure. It only gets harder, and you got to accept it and embrace it. Shamrock faithful coming alive here. Bliss will be the lone receiver at the top of your screen. Looks like a good matchup up there. Hannes will be under center. He's going to fake the toss. Going to run the same play again. His lead blocker, Salvador Alvarez, wasn't able to get in front of him. That's huge because I think there was one man to beat and Alvarez wasn't able to get there. It looks like he lost his footing.
Yep, I mean, that was if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, another good play, and I think we'll start to see that pitch actually being made to set up that play, keep them guessing a little bit.
Well, in that formation, they got Bliss out at the top of your screen, one-on-one. I think they're going to come back to that matchup later. As the Rocks are going to get into the heavy eyes we've seen all year.
I expect you to see Jones or Hannes here.
Quarterback sneak! Rocks win the pile near the goal line, short, but picks up the first down. So it'll be first and goal here. Now you got 4 shots.
Big. First and goal from about the 1, 2, maybe. Yeah, ball on the 1. Can't get any better than first and goal from the 1. So
knocking on the door, but guess what? You get down here, snap first.
Yep.
That can ruin everything. You got to get the snap. You got to get the quarterback center exchange here. Looks like Hannes is going to turn around and hand it off to Owen Wise again, and he walks in. Touchdown, Shamrocks.
And a long, I mean, not a long, I mean, they started at 30, but the Shamrocks doing what they need to there. And, I mean, taking advantage of the short field they were given. I mean, that's what happens when your defense forces them to punt from their own end zone. Good things can happen.
Gavin Carpenter on the attempt, the extra point. Snap is high. They're about to make a fire call here. As Van Horn rolls out to his right, throws it, got a man. Pass interference is going to be called. Rocks are going to get another attempt at this.
Bailed out there, but that was heads-up play. I believe that's Aiden Van Horn.
Yes, Van Horn. Nice job there.
Heads-up play to even catch that snap. That snap was a little off and able to make a play and give yourselves a shot at it at least. So now I expect to see us go for 2 after that snap and getting the yardage from the penalty.
Ball will be placed at the 1.5.
I expect to see the heavy set again.
Genius, Brian.
I mean, it's worked for you on this scoring drive about the entire time, so might as well go to it again.
That's exactly what it looks like they're going to do. Once the refs let them get going here.
That penalty pass to distance to the goal line.
Hannes will be under center. Alvarez in motion. Turn around and hand it off to Jones. Tries to run a fullback ISO, and I think he stuffed it, make it.
No good.
KIPP gave him everything they wanted there and then some. Couldn't get in. That might come back and bite him in the butt later.
A good play design. They had the one in the backfield who's not eligible to run the ball. That was 67, I believe, Alvarez. He went in motion and tried to clean up that hole, but KIPP just got a good push off the line, and we might see some short yardage situations be a little bit tougher for the Rocks than they normally are. But distinct size advantage for KIPP in the trenches.
KIPP did a nice job there covering up all their gaps. You know, usually when you look to attack an offense as a defense, you want to make sure there's a guy in every gap, whether it's someone coming down and filling late in the run, or if you're in a situation like this, you got guys walked up on the line of scrimmage. They did a nice job there covering up the interior. There was nothing there simply for the Rocks.
Yeah, and the Shamrocks running in between the tackles has been a lot more successful than I thought it would be, just looking at the lineups and bodies and everything. So, I mean, maybe trying to establish that, and then in the second half we'll see a little bit more runs out on the edges.
Gavin Carpenter set to kick off here. Rocks are going to be in their traditional 4x6 kickoff set. Carpenter set to send her deep. And he does. Nice kick.
That's taking him back
to about the 5-yard line, where it'll be fielded by number 24, Antonio Campbell. It's a reverse. And knocked out of bounds at around the 15 there. Reverse to number 4. That was the Cam Frazier.
Camden Carpenter with the tackle on the play.
Camden Carpenter on the tackle there. A little trickery there.
A lot of credit to Barnesville staying in their lanes on the kickoff return, because, I mean, if they got caught following the ball, that reverse is going to be wide open, and he'd probably still be running.
You know, that's a play when you look at this group of kids and what they've went through and how they've progressed through 4 years. That's the type of play, you know, coming off a touchdown like that, I could see going for 6.
Yeah.
You know, when they're young and not as mature, and then as you get older and progress, and some of these kids, you know, get this important experience, as Campbell runs ahead for about 2 or 3, and you end up making those plays like that.
And typically your kickoff, any special teams lineup for the most part is going to be a lot of underclassmen that aren't in on offense or defense. So credit to them knowing to stay in your lanes, well coached there, and able to stop a big play before it can happen. KIPP able to break through on another run, 24 again.
Campbell.
Yep. We'll set up another third down for KIPP. And not really testing the Shamrock secondary as much as I thought they might.
Yeah, I am surprised about that too, as Frazier will take the snap, turns around and hands it to Campbell again. Tough sledding in there, but he's got enough for the first down. Chains will move. You know, we haven't seen Tymier win yet ever since the first drive. I didn't see him go down, but I mean, I can't find him on the sideline over there. And it looks like that's really affecting the Jaguars here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's something halftime we'll try to come up with some kind of information on that. But, yeah, you're right.
Because, man, this team was clicking a lot better when he was on the field. False start there. Just make sure we got our names right. They'll take the snap, and Frazier's going to get around the edge. Makes Luke Deckley miss. And a nice tackle there by Chase Connor.
Man, he came out of nowhere on that one. I thought it might be a little bit of trouble for the Rocks once he made the corner miss. But athletic run there, but even better for Chase Connor to track him down.
Antonio Campbell's the player down for the Jaguars here. Their tailback. Introduce somebody coming into the broadcast.
He had so much fun last week that he decided to join us in the booth, taking a minute away from his athletic director duties to come talk to us for a little bit. Brad Hannes.
Thanks, guys. I just mainly wanted to come in and just thank Strauss Films for this season, streaming our games again. Also wanted to congratulate Tyler Jenkins on his appearance at the state cross country meet today. Had a heck of a meet. Placed 42nd out of a lot of kids. I'm not sure exactly how many.
I think it was close to 200, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. And so he did really well. And I just want to thank you guys for doing this, taking time out of your days to come watch some Shamrock football and analyze it. And I know you guys have a lot of fun up here, and I did last week, as you said. So anyway, look forward to good next another half of football. And also I want to keep our thoughts with James Moore and his family to the tragic car wreck this past week. So just everybody listening, maybe say a prayer for him and his family. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brad. Always a pleasure having you in here.
We'll see you later.
It looks like a timeout here by KIPP. Trouble getting lined up here. A couple injuries seem to have really thrown their operation in for a tailspin here.
Looking at KIPP's sideline, not a lot of extra bodies there.
Because, boy, when they first came out in that first series, Brian, they looked really good.
I thought we were looking at a possible shootout there. I mean, Barnesville throwing the pick on their first possession, but otherwise was moving the ball pretty effectively. But points getting harder to come by. I mean, guess that's November playoff football for you. I mean, for as explosive as this KIPP team is, last week was only 13-12 against Sims Valley, I believe. And so, I mean, typically in these grinded out games, and that's a type Shamrocks haven't had a ton of this year. So might be something to keep your eye on for the rest of this one.
And the point I was really looking forward to this game was the one time the Shamrocks got hurt this year was when they played Wyatt Ryman in the Shadyside Tigers. Superior athlete, was best athlete on the field.
No question.
No question, right? And I was wondering if one of these kids from KIPP, if they were going to be able to get them the ball like they did Ryman, if one of them would take over, and we haven't seen that just yet.
We haven't seen that one guy that they have, but...
Nice pass here by Frazier. It looks like he's going to have number 5 right in the breadbasket, but number 9, C.J. Hannes, with a beautiful deflection there.
Credit to Hannes there. I didn't think he was going to get a hand on that one, and he would have been gone.
I think he had him in stride there. Intended receiver was number 5, Xavier Ferguson.
I think Hannes was able to just get enough of a hand in his chest and knock that ball away a little bit, but man, Barnesville, another one that could have went either way. Unfortunate again.
So it'll be 3rd and 15 here with 6:17 left to go before half. Frazier will take the snap, looks to get around the edge, and does. As he's going to get brought down for around a 3 or 4 yard gain. And so now potentially punt time here for the Jaguars. Really looks like this Rocks defense is starting to settle in here.
Yeah, and I was trying to see exactly what defense we were in. We only did a 3-man front there. I'm guessing we're doing an extra DB, but I'm thinking we're going like a 3-4 look.
In the long yardage situations,
or maybe even a 3-3-5. I mean, at this level, your DBs could easily turn into outside linebackers based on need. So.
Punt almost blocked here. Short one. Flutters around the 47 up to about the 50. Be fielded by Bliss as he runs out of bounds right there. And so the Rocks will take over at midfield.
And I think what they're going to tell Bliss when he gets to the sideline is try to catch that ball in the air, get some momentum behind you. As soon as he let that bounce, it took away any chance for a return. And we've seen so many times this year that Spencer Bliss has changed the game on a punt return.
You know, the rule usually is if you're going backwards, you fair catch it. If you're going forwards, you usually want to return unless you feel that presence up on you quick. And it also depends on, how high the punt is and if the punt coverage is able to get down the field.
Punt
that
had
right
some
there,
good
Bliss
height,
could have came down a little.
Punt had some height, but it didn't go particularly far.
As they're going to come back to that toss play you were talking about earlier, they set up as Weiss hits a nice cutback lane, picks up about 8 or 9.
I see that play design being a big part of our game plan the rest of this game. Keep KIPP guessing on whether or not we're going to pitch it or if we're going to do a Hannes keeper on it. And I wouldn't be surprised to add another wrinkle with Hannes keeping and then having a receiver run along the flat and try to catch him sleeping.
trick play here for those of you looking at home. Bliss is all by himself down at the sideline. They're going to throw it to him. He's going to catch it, no one around him. And he falls, and he tried to make someone miss, and he fell, but at least he picked up the first down. Saw that coming from a mile away.
I wasn't looking particularly on that, but they make it look like Bliss was coming out and going to the sideline and just lined up directly on the sideline pretty much. Is that what happened there?
That's an old play Blake Allen stole from Rivers head coach Mike Flannery. They've used many times. Worked once, I think the first year we tried it was when I was on staff 3 years ago playing Union Local, and it worked.
And in these winner go-home games, I mean,
anything
can't
goes.
hold anything back.
The Rocks will be in an old-fashioned Caldwell-like set here as Bliss will take a direct snap and get up around the left side. Pick up about 5 or 6. So right there they had Bliss at quarterback, and then 2 up backs, one right beside him and one right in front of him, and they're just straight fullbacks. And it's just a way to where you can get your guy moving side to side in space and don't have to be under center.
Kind of a Wildcat look.
A little bit, yeah. Caldwell used to run that a lot with a former All-American running back at Marietta College, Tanner Clark. And they were on their state playoff runs there earlier last decade. As
I think we're going to get a timeout from KIPP. And Shamrocks moving the ball effectively again here. So I think KIPP just trying to stop the bleeding a little bit and work on getting a big stop here.
So with 3:49 left to go before half, Rocks will have it 2nd and 5, up 6-0 over the KIPP Jaguars out of Columbus. Nice looking team, like we said. Good size, good speed. A couple injuries, though, have looked to be a factor in their play here, and the Rocks are moving, looking to get up 2 scores here before half. Use this opportunity again to thank our sponsors if you want to read them off there.
Yeah, so we got Hissom Service Center, as we have for every game this year. We want to thank them for being a season-long sponsor to us and Strauss Films. To Cuz Woodworks, so Brian and Curtis Jeffers for all your custom tables and furniture. Mountain Aire Heating and Air Conditioning. Root Design Company for great quality t-shirts. Samantha Welch with Harvey Goodman Realtors. Swallie Trucking. And Vision One Flooring. We want to thank you all for allowing us to be up here and bring you this live stream.
So it looks like the Rocks will be in the same set, lined up to the other side as Bliss is going to hit a crease, picks up the first down up around the 10-yard line as he wasn't able to get the edge, but the 2 lead blockers there did a nice job of separating and creating a crease there. He was able to hit it and explode for a good gain.
That's just getting your best player the ball in space, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep going to it here.
This will be 1st and 10, 3:27 left to go here before half. Looks like the Rocks are going to come out in the same set. So the 2 upbacks are Owen Wise and Connor Jones. As Bliss will take the snap, it's going to be a little ISO play. It's Bliss hits the whole hard. He's always close to the goal line. They're going to call him short, though.
But this little wrinkle from the Barnesville defense, but it's got KIPP a little stumped right now. I mean, I'm sure Barnesville has a wrinkle where Spencer Bliss will throw a pass. He threw one last week, I believe it was. He threw a long one off a trick play, a double pass. But right now, the run's working effectively, and KIPP knows what's coming. It's just not able to stop it.
Hannah's back in the ball game. Under center, they're going to be back in their heavy eye formation. Alvarez, the extra back in the backfield. So they'll turn around and hand it off to Bliss. Touchdown, Rocks! Close there. KIPP had a guy off the edge. Looks like he got a hand on Bliss's back. If he's able to make that play, this might have changed the game.
Yep. And you go heavy with 2 fullbacks, but that's the danger with that. It takes a little bit longer for the handoff to get there and develop. I'm sure the Barnesville coaching staff saw that and might look to go just a heavy with a fullback.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy was really close to making a play off the edge, and, you know, it might not hurt him now, but you look into maybe something like that, a big play in the same scenario later on down the line, whether it's in this game or if they're fortunate enough to get to next week, might make a difference.
Good back to the point.
Rocks will be in the same formation. Bliss looks to throws. Got Chase Carter. Reaches out. For a 2-point conversion. I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself there. 2-point conversion. What a call there by Coach Allen. Did such a great job running that formation. Come back in the same formation. You leak your tight end across the back end of the end zone. And great pitch and catch there.
Yeah, well executed and puts Barnesville up 14. So, I mean, I think they're starting to find some offensive identity in this game. For KIPP, we'll see if Tamir Wynn comes back. I mean, like we said, their offense was humming pretty well that first possession when they had Wynn in at quarterback.
Good look there from our.
Really appreciate them doing that. Gives another perspective to this game. Like we said, from our view up here, we didn't have a great look at that play, but that view, our view did not do that play justice.
No. Carpenter will be set to kick the ball into orbit here as he boots it. Low line drive. Fielded around the 10-yard line by Frazier. And he's going to spin ahead. Get up to about the 25-yard line. Powell's pushing close to the 30. Nice job there fighting for extra yardage, and that's where the Jaguars will take over.
Taysom Starr winning the tackle for the Shamrocks.
Taysom Starr with the tackle there for the Rocks. Boy, once that sun went down, Brian, cold quick.
Oh, yeah. I think it was in the 50s today, but as soon as that sun went down, I think it was supposed to drop into the 30s during this game, and through the night, I saw maybe in the 20s. So we'll see if KIPP can get some momentum going before the half. I mean, still no win at quarterback.
Frazier will be in the pistol. He's going to turn around and hand it off to Campbell. He's going to make a nice cut. Nice seam there. He's going to make a man miss. That was Detling. Up the sideline goes Campbell. Finally, maybe, brought down around the 15-yard line. Great response there by KIPP.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Jaguars.
I'm telling you, man, that's what a good team does. They respond and respond quickly. As KIPP went quick, and Coach Allen will take a timeout and a good one there. They were going very quick, and I think they had another play ready to go, probably to take a shot at the end zone, and I don't blame them. Usually you get a big play and you take a shot right after it.
They had the Barnesville defense reeling a little bit there. And I don't believe KIPP subbed anyone, so that means Barnesville isn't afforded the time to sub. They still can, but the ref's not going to stop the ball for them to sub. So, yeah, it was good use of a timeout there, but KIPP knocking on the door again. And I tell you, this running back for them.
Antonio Campbell. Speedster.
Yeah. Like I said, pretty small, but able to run or find holes, and he hits them quick, and it's tough to catch up to.
Nice crease there, and he hit it hard. And ran right beside the Rock safeties. Ran right by him. Finally, Wise made a nice play and got him down. Kind of able to call timeout and try to rally the troops there, but I'm impressed by that. So Frazier will still be in a quarterback, in the pistol. Campbell, the tailback behind him. Frazier will take the snap, turn around, hand it off to Campbell once again. Plows forward, stays up. What a nice job by him. He's finally going to get marked down after forward progress, but not before he picks up 7.
He's tough to take down.
Nice tailback there.
Yep, Shamrocks just have to get a little lower and drive him back in the legs, but as long as he's keeping his legs moving, he's keeping the pile moving.
Interesting to see how the Rocks are going to respond to this. Haven't seen Frazier throw, one ball, I do believe, and it was batted down by Hannes. Interesting to see if they will try to chuck one at the end zone here on second medium. As he'll take the snap, turn around, hand it off to Campbell. Met in the backfield, makes 2 men miss. That wasn't Campbell, actually. I think it was
I want to say that was Christian Brown, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Christian Brown, number 1 there. He had 2 guys right on him right now.
Yeah.
Made them both miss, but good rally there by the Shamrocks. And it'll bring up 3rd and about 2 with a minute left before half. And so now you got to start thinking about the time. Kind of surprised on 3rd down that Coach Allen didn't take a timeout. As Frazier will take the snap. It's going to be a direct quarterback run. Lazier was there, but he misses a tackle, and they get the 1st down, so I guess a good thing he didn't take the timeout. Flag comes in late.
Late flag. See what happened here.
This is big, which way it goes. Someone's down on the ground for KIPP. Trainers ran over immediately. Hopefully it wasn't dirty. Also another Shamrock down in the back of the end zone. There's a Shamrock down in the back of the end zone. Not a good situation here.
I can't tell who's down for either team right
I
now.
think it's fit for the Rocks. It's number 53, Ethan Spangenberg. The player from KIPP is on his feet but bent down. Hopefully he's okay as well. The flag thrown in late, it's hard to tell what happened in there.
Yeah, they'll take care of the players first, and then I guess we'll get the penalty.
I'm telling you, Brian, since I've got here, it's dropped about 15 degrees. It feels like it anyway. I'm sure it hasn't, but I'm about half chilly up here. And we're in the box. Looks like the player for KIPP that was down was number 4, the quarterback, Cam Frazier. Back on his feet. KIPP's ready to go. Need to see the penalty address. Spangenberg looks to have, I believe it's Spangenberg. Helmet's off. Gimping back to the sideline. Rocks defense trots back out in the field.
And the thing to remember here, KIPP with the ball knocking on the door, they will receive the second half kickoff. So big chance, like you said earlier, establish momentum going into the half and coming out of it. So big moment in this game here.
So it'll be 1st and goal here. 40 seconds, clock started. Brown will take the snap. Dives in, touchdown Jaguars! Frazier came out there after the injury. Never found out what the penalty was, did we?
I think it was on Shamrocks, and it was just half the distance to the goal, so it ended up being about a half yard or so.
So touchdown, great response before half by the Jaguars. Cut the lead to 8 here, 14-6. They're going to have the ball placed on the left hash. Go for 2 here. A tight trip set to the top of your screen. Frazier and a quarterback, Campbell in at tailback. So he'll take the snap and he's going to roll to the top of the end zone there. He's got a man open in the back of the end zone. Doesn't throw it. Finally does. Caught. 2-point conversion completed. 14-8 Rocks. Pass was thrown very late, almost like a jump pass. That was number 5, Xavier Ferguson. Went up and got it.
Ref's talking about something here.
Not sure what they're talking about. Maybe if he was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw it. I don't know.
Just throw a flag.
So they're going to say Frazier, I believe, was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball. It's exactly what it is.
That'll back him up. Well, no, that'll be the play. Like, that ends the play.
That ends the play. It's done. So 2-point strip from KIPP after a nice-looking play. I mean, that's been the story, you know, thus far this half for KIPP is mistakes, because this game can be a lot different.
Shamrock's forcing it again on that one. I mean, they've been getting some breaks here and there, and that's a big one. There's a lot of difference between a 14-6 and a 14-8 ball game.
Because before you got, you know, they get any kind of point after, you know, they're going for the lead. Now you got the leverage to where, yeah, you got to score a touchdown. Now go ahead and get 2 on us right after it.
But, as we said earlier, KIPP now, within 1 possession, they get the ball coming out of this half. Shamrock's going to either need to find some magic here in this last 30 seconds or come out with a big stop in the initial drive of the 3rd quarter.
I've always believed how you go into the locker room and how you come out of the locker room at halftime will determine the game. I've always believed that, and we'll see how the Rocks respond here. 33 seconds left. those of you at home. Yusuf Torre to kick off here for the Jaguars. Connor, Wise, Bliss, set back deep to return. KIPP changed up their kickoff formation, I do believe. They're now 4v6 here. Kick is up, fielded by Connor around the 15. Connor's going to make a man miss. He's got a seam. He's up the middle of the field, trying to get his blocker out of the way. He's going to get brought down at around the 43-yard line. 25 seconds left. Rock's got to go quick here.
Yep.
And we'll see what they can conjure up.
Shamrocks still have a timeout left to burn, but I expect to see some passes to the sideline trying to stop the clock.
Like I said, they're going to have to go quick. You're going to have, like you said, one timeout. You're going to have to get out of bounds. You're going to have to pick up a big chunk of yardage on one of these plays and take some shots at the end zone. If not, try to maybe trot out Lowe or Carpenter to get a quick 3 here before half.
Both good kicking options, but I think for that to be a realistic option, they'd have to get it to about the 15-yard line in my estimation.
So Hannes will be in empty gun. He's on drop back, looks, throws. He's got Connor. Ball should have been caught. Popped out, incomplete. That would have been huge. That was a chunk play you needed.
Yeah, wide open in the seam.
Yeah. Right there, they finally took their shot and did, and just couldn't execute.
Yep. I think a key we've been seeing Barnesville on offense is trying to spread out this KIPP defense. Doing the same thing KIPP does to them. Go 3 or 4 wide.
Looks like they'll be in 4 wide here. Trips to the top of your screen.
They will go with a second safety to help above on each side.
Another quick throw, quick slant to Detling, caught 6 yards, 15 seconds. Timeout called by Allen.
Waste the timeout there.
Now it's going to make it 3rd and about 3. So, looking at this, clock will stop for just a moment. If you get the first down, then you're going to have to get on it and spike it. So I bet they're trying to chunk it in half. They was probably hoping to get the first down right there.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to keep him up on his feet with the throw.
This has either got to be just something quick to get the first down and a spike, or something to the sidelines to get the first down. And
quick out, maybe a roll out or a waggle to some, away, or a comeback or something. 14 seconds.
Whatever it is, it's just got to be pretty quick, or it's got to get them some good yardage. Either or there, but
you kind of got to make the decision whether you want to just use this time and how you want to pick up the first down. I think you got to, and then it's what I want to do. Do I want to take shots at the end zone, or I want to try to chunk it in half and then try to kick a field goal? It's your decision.
Be interesting to see how they play this, because like we said, Connor on that first play, wide open down the seam. Just unable to pull it up. But if he was able to catch that, Shamrocks would be knocking at the door again.
Clock's going to stop for momentarily when they get the first down, just to reset the chains, and they'll have to get going from there. Connor's going to be in the slot here, uncovered, got a safety hovering over top of him. His trips will be at the bottom of your screen. Hannes will look, throws, going to the sideline to Bliss. Ball incomplete. That would have been huge.
Yep. That was a nice back shoulder throw, just a little too far out for Bliss to make the catch. And I think you go for it here, but now 10 seconds left without a timeout left. Got to pick up the yardage for the first and get to the line and spike it immediately and give yourself another shot at the end zone, or an extremely long field goal.
Yeah. Ball was, a little past Bliss's outreached arms. Unfortunately, he couldn't catch it. His Hannes will be in the gun. He's going to roll to the right. Throws quick. Got Bliss. He's going to get tackled, but I don't know that he even has the first down. He does. He's short.
Bliss is down again. He's crawling off to the sideline in some obvious pain. Yep. Short of the first down, KIPP will take over.
Lack of execution there by the Rocks players.
The receivers just have to know where the first down marker is, and got to get there, and just in case you don't get a run after a catch.
Bent his route back too far. Looks like KIPP is just trying to rally the troops to get in here, take a knee on it. 5 seconds left and get to the locker room. play clock started. No. Timeout. KIPP. For whatever reason, they can't get lined up.
Interesting.
I don't think they're going to try to run a trick play. I think
Nah.
this is strictly they can't get the personnel on the field. They're, for whatever reason, thought maybe they were just going to go to halftime. But anytime you get a timeout in a situation like this, just put a couple guys back deep just in case. The only thing it hurts is they're going to have to run an extra 30 yards to the locker room.
And giving you an update there, Spencer Bliss walking to the locker room, limping pretty noticeably, so we hope he's able to go in the second half. But
long time out here.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
Refs try to rally the troops here.
Barnesville just can't let anyone past you here. I mean, I don't expect to see KIPP do anything too outside of the box, but
they might just run it and just say, heck with it. If we get something, we get something. If not. So it looks like KIPP will be out in their same formation they've been running for most of the game. It'll be a pistol with two backs. Slot receiver to the top of your screen. Frazier at quarterback. Bad snap. He's going to look back. Drops back. Looks to throw. Makes a nice move. And he's just going to run it. Brought down by Tayson Starr. Nice open field tackle there. That's going to send us to halftime here. Your score here in Barnesville. Rocks 14. Jaguars 6. Heading into the locker room at half.
yeah, I mean, like we said, tightly contested first half. Neither team able to get too much momentum. We thought the Rocks were was looking to take it all away, and KIPP came back with that long run that set up their touchdown drive to end the half, and coming out of the half, they will get the opening kickoff and look to get this game closer or even tie it up.
Quick look at some scores around the Valley. A lot of playoff games tonight. You know, the smaller divisions play on Saturday, and the larger divisions play on Friday. Waterford 6, Shadyside 12 at half. Waterford has a very nice tailback by the name of Holden Daly, and he might be just as good, if not better, in Ryman. So that was one I was really, looking into tonight. That was at Shadyside. And then we have Bel Air's losing 14-7 at half to Garfield, which is in Garrettsville, up in between Youngstown and Cleveland, I do believe. And if you ever thought we run heavy, don't watch them, because they don't even have a quarterback. It's just a running back, kind of like what we do on Bliss there. They do it every play.
Last week, Colgrove, everyone on their roster was listed as a running back or a lineman. There was no quarterbacks, no receivers, nothing.
Another local score, Newark Catholic beating Caldwell 35-0.
Yeah, that's a nightmare matchup.
Yeah. Another interesting one, River, a team that we beat earlier this year, up 33-14 over Bern Union, who I know has a very talented roster.
Yeah, Bern Union, I believe, is the second seed there. Pilots coming in as a 7, but that's an impressive. Coach Flannery's got the Pilots playing pretty good football at the right time.
And I do believe it's all locally, other than Ridgewood's beating Wheelersburg 13-10 at half. So we will take a break here, turn it over to the Shamrock Marching Band, and we'll catch you guys in the second half.